All right. Well, we have done a lot of work between last episode and now, including a complete redesign of our miner and the creation of a mother base ship. So, let's go over what we've done. I'm going to start at the front. We'll make our way to the back. So first off, we have our drill head. We have our standard cross spaces in between. I have added a camera and spotlights. Oh, there's connection problems again. Wow. Is it going to be one of these episodes with connection problems? I mean, come on, Keen. And rubber banding. Yay! All right. So spotlights as well, so we can see what we're drilling. I have also added control panels to the various grids and named all of my grids, or at least all the ones I could name. We've also, on the right side, repositioned our gyros. We've also filled in all of our batteries and constructed all of our engines. Plus, we have connected our cockpit via cargo containers. Now, I do really suggest that you guys do this. Don't use conveyors. Use cargo containers when you're playing on a server with a PCU limit. The PCU limit on the server is 20 grand. Cargo containers cost the same amount as conveyors, so there's no sense not using them. I have then added a landing gear to help lock our drill head into position. We have also added an ore detector to our miner, which is a great thing. I have also repositioned our survival kit, which I will use right now to energize ourselves up. And it is connected via this O2 container, I believe. Yeah, via the O2H2 generator to the conveyor ports. So that's always nice. Always good to have your survival kit connected to your conveyor ports so you can get oxygen and hydrogen. The other thing I have done is I've added a hinge so that we can make use of the small grid radar and small grid beacons to give us some help finding our ship. As well, I really like this method for timer blocks. It makes the timer blocks really compact. We'll get into these timer blocks in a minute. Now, I have put lighting on the ship as well, including interior lights and the spotlights. Coming behind, as you can see, we have a 3x3 large grid cargo container. Times 2, actually. And on the back, I have added a small stone removal system. So the way this works is you configure your conveyor sorter so that it's whitelisted just stone. And then you set it to drain all. This will grab all the stone out of your miner. It will then throw that stone into this connector. The connector is, again, I've named it eject. The connector is set up to throw out anything it sees. It doesn't need to have use for parking or strength set. Curiously, how does it get the stone? Oh, right. The conveyor sorter throws it out there. So drain all. It's just going to pull it and throw it to the connector, and then the connector just throws it out. And again, connection problems. This is going to be an ongoing problem with this series playing on the server, and there's your rubber banding. So then we go up a bit. Of course, I've got my second cargo container here with a connector right there. And we also have merge blocks. Now, this is so I can convert my miner into a station, and have it be part of the mothership. Now, the other thing I have done is I've put a second cockpit on. the second cockpit facing backwards or forwards, depending on how you want to orient yourself, really helps with parking. And then I've got a top-mounted camera here, which again helps with parking, or I should say docking. All right, so let's go over some of the controls we've got. Now, I use this cockpit here as my storage for weird stuff, money and plushies, and I don't know why I've got a canvas in here. Also, I am, for some reason, got components. Off screen, I did manufacture about 1,000 of everything, except for the stuff I know I don't need 1,000 for. So we've done that. Let's go over my command bar now. Basically, I've set both cockpits up with 2 command bars. This cockpit mainly has a navigational command bar and a mining command bar. For navigation, we've got ion thrusters, increase and decrease thrust override. This helps me so that I just don't have to press W. These are also just the forward thrusters, no other thrusters, obviously. We also have the override controls for our gyroscope. This helps us, if you're playing with a really sensitive mouse, this helps you just line up to an object and keep that alignment. The other thing I did as well, gyro, not gyro. I don't know what a gyro is. I reduced the gyro power to 25%. I probably should put more gyros on the mother base station, but we'll talk about that in a minute. Then as far as our controls go for the navigation, we've got a drill view. We also have the mining start and the mining extend and retract sequence. We'll go into these timers in a minute. They're just timers that start our drill up and then retract it. And then I've got just some little helper things, mainly the rotor on and reverse and the landing gear switch lock, just so that I can get the rotor, or I should say the mining drill, lined up the way I want it. Mainly I want it so that this drill is on top, I want to say. Oh no, it's on the bottom. I'm sorry. No, it's on the top. Yeah, it's on the top. That's right. Yeah, on the top. I keep forgetting that the drills are no longer aligned with the base of the drill. All right, so continuing. So that's the navigation toolbar. The drilling toolbar is really simple. One of the things I have done is I have put the block tool drill on my hotbar. This makes it so that if I press 1 and it highlights it, like it has now, I can then use my left and right mouse button, and we'll go into B mode here. Left button will drill normally, and then right mouse button will drill, but it's like using your right mouse button for your manual drill. So that's really helpful, getting rid of those little, let's call them pimples. I don't know what to call them, but the micro asteroids that become a navigational issue. Then we obviously have the drill on off, the rotor on off, the rotor reverse, piston on off, piston, actually that one's wrong. That one should be piston. Yeah, no, piston reverse. Yeah. The camera drill view, again, the override controls, and also my ejection system. So the way I did the ejection system is very simple, actually. All I did was I created a group called Eject Stone, and it controls turning on both the eject connector and the eject conveyor sorter. That's it. That's all you have to do. Now, obviously, it's a very small system. It's only got a single sorter and a single connector. If you really want to mass eject stuff, you would want more of these, but one's enough for me. Most of the time, one is more than sufficient, given that I've got 2 large cargo containers. Usually I did go out and test this on a gold deposit, and I was able to mine all of the gold before the ejection of stone became an issue. And obviously, once I've got all the gold, I might as well bring the rest of the stone back with me. It's free materials. Well, not free, but you know what I mean. And then the rest of my toolbars in this cockpit are empty. So let's go to the other cockpit, and I'll show you what I did here. This cockpit here is basically our docking cockpit. As you can see, there's our mothership, which we will go through in a minute. The docking cockpit controls are, again, very similar, with a navigational control bar and basically a system shutdown control bar. And the rest of the control bars are empty. So, again, the navigational control bar has our thrusters increase and decrease thrust override, plus our gyroscope override controls, plus the docking view camera. Also, I've got the merge block on-off button, and of course, the connector switch lock. So that's the navigational. The shut-off, I have my antenna, beacon, ore detector, lights, batteries for recharge, the ion engines, and the gyro, all with on-off. So basically, I can shut that off. One of the ways you can make this much simpler is you could put a timer block that's basically named system shutdown, and you could put all of these commands into that timer block, and you could have another one called system startup with the reverse. I feel it's just better to just have the toggle on off, just so that I can do each of them individually. All right, so that's the mining ship. Basically what I do is I typically navigate in this cockpit, and then once I've found where I want to go, I will switch to this cockpit, do a 180, and start drilling. All right, so that's that. Now, then we built this monstrosity. This is our mother base, basically our mother base station. What did I call it? Base ship? I'm going to rename it as base station, because that's what it is. It's a base station. I was thinking Cylon base star is what I was thinking. All right, so again, we'll start from what I'm considering front to back. We first started off with just a line, and you can see it all the way down here. It's just a line of large cargo containers. Again, merge blocks, connectors. Here I put in some 4 actually hydrogen engines, which are currently on because we have ice, and then a bank of 16 batteries. We have 8 batteries for power on our miner, which gives us about 2 hours of ability to travel and mine, which I think is more than enough. We've got double that number on the base station, and I think we'll add more. I then moved the refinery, and I also made sure to keep space for upgrade modules. We then added an ore detector, a beacon, and a large grid antenna. And again, we're using cargo containers as conveyors. So this basically goes all the way back. We also added on 6, 3 per side, of the O2H2 generators. And as well, I've got a grid here, a very dangerous grid, because, oh my god, it's not actually a separate grid, but it is our storage of hydrogen and oxygen. And I believe, let us see, they're small tanks, so not too explosive. The oxygens are set just on auto refill, but not stockpile. The small hydrogen tanks are set on auto refill and stockpile. The reason is because I want to ensure that when I run out of ice, I still have hydrogen, just in case. Then we've got some unfinished business, let's just say, with some steel... What is it called again? Some light armor blocks that are unfinished. 2 more large cargo containers, and then a small cargo container and a series of 4 pistons. These pistons have each have a rotor hinge combo plus camera attached to a turret controller. One for each piston, set so that they point at the sun. Each of these solar panels has 8 full solar panels, and the trick with the solar panels is, as you well know, is if you set them up like this, both sides will be green. And as you can see right now, the sun is basically directly behind us, and so we are getting full solar power, to the point where our hydrogen engines probably are not doing much. Hydrogen engines. Yeah, they're fully filled and they're not outputting any energy, which is just perfect. That probably means our refinery is... No, it's not quite done refining. Remember, I did go out for some gold. Ingots. What do we got for gold? What do we got, period? Well, there's our silicon. There's our gold. We got some gravel, iron, nickel, and more gold. So we're almost at 1,000 gold bars, which is just great. Oh. No. Alright. How do we do this ingot? More gravel, more iron, and more nickel. So we are nowhere near full. Our ingots large container is only, it's just over 10%, call it 12% full. So we're nowhere near full. We've got lots of iron, nickel, silicon, cobalt. We're a little low on cobalt. We've got lots of silver. We've got a fair amount of gold. And we have no platinum. And no magnesium. I've yet to find magnesium. And no uranium. But we have found uranium. So, and now that we have a connection problem again. We should have a connection problem counter. That's what we should have. I should get one of my spin down dice. Yes, I play Magic the Gathering. If you ever want to talk to me about Magic the Gathering, I have many stories. All right, so you'll also notice off in the distance, I have a ton of waypoints. We've done a fair bit of exploring. There is a platinum there, silver, not even sure what that one is. Can I do alt? More silver, platinum, iron, silver. There's a bunch of gold over there, some nickel, iron. I did put a survival. It's just a battery and a survival kit. That's it. There is one down there. Also over... Oh, really? I can look down my chest? Okay. That's weird. We've got some silver over there. Over here, we've got a ton of cobalt, iron, gold, buried iron, lots of cobalt. Like there's 9 signals over there. I can't even see them all. And most importantly, there's our uranium. Here's the interesting thing. And I probably will do it. How many reactor components do we have? We don't have any. Reactor components only use silver. So that's interesting. Superconductors use gold. We got a ton of gold. Superconductors don't even use 1 gold per. We can make 100 of these with 67 gold. So we can make a lot of those. Thruster components, of course, use platinum, and we don't have a lot of platinum. So getting to hydrogen engines is going to be an issue. But we'll solve that. As far as reactors go, we have a lot of choices. I personally prefer not to use the large reactors. Personally prefer to use the small reactors. And let's see. Yeah, see the small reactor. The nice thing about it is it's got 2 connection points. So you can use these as conveyors. Like for instance, we could quite easily put 3 small reactors here, and it doesn't end our conveyor system, which is really nice. In fact, what I'll probably do is we'll put 3 we'll probably set up 12 reactors on each side of the H2O2 generators. Probably what we'll do. And then connect them back up to the cargo containers here and here. And in fact, let's put a cargo container right here. The cargo. Small cargo container. Give me a build planner. Let's put it right here. Oop. And we will... okay, so the antenna is on the what I'm calling the bottom of our ship. But I notice we've aligned... So whatever. We'll put it right here. And which way is it going? They're going forward that way. Alright, fine. So what we will do is we will put these backward and he will go there. Technically 1, 2, 3. We probably should have a container right here as well. And that would make for 15 batteries, 17. Yeah, that would make for an odd number of batteries. And we have a connection problem. Oh, and some rubber banding. And there's our container. I don't like that. Really don't. I rather have it pointing. No, let's have it pointing back. Whatever. Alright. And we will name it. Oh, we've got a whole bunch of stuff that's unnamed. Where is this survival kit? Oh, maybe I moved it? I'm not sure. I moved some stuff. I'm sure I did. Alright, so this guy is Mother Base Station, right? Small cargo container. And we're going to turn the tool and no, we're going to leave the inventory on, but we're not going to show it. And then I must have moved the survival kit. Right? Yeah, I moved it. So this is Miner 49er. Yes, indeed. I named my Miner 49er. And then the rest of the cargo are M49 as well. Yeah. We'll go over my naming convention in a minute. Just because... Now all of these containers, I prefer to have them off and off for toolbar config and terminal. You're never gonna... The cargo interface has nothing on it for you to ever turn on except maybe show on HUD. And so there's no reason for it to be in your terminal or in your toolbar config. There's just no reason. So I like to keep my terminal clean. And generally speaking, that means if something repeats, it's not on the terminal. Now, in this case, I have left the oxygen and small hydrogen tanks on because you have to individually click on them to see the 100% full. That's why. All right, so as far as naming goes, let's look at our info. Here's all my grids. Energy low. Basically what I've done is I have a faction. Where's my faction info? Me, show me. My faction is Bad Hut Productions. Yes, I really need to make a Bad Hut and then start making that everywhere. But for now. The problem is, again, the server has PCU limits, so making houses everywhere is expensive. If there was no PCU limits, I would absolutely pollute the world with houses. And people would know, oh, yeah, there he is. So, given that it's BHP info, you'll notice that all my grids start with BHP, with the exception of some 2-block large grids. These are hinges, and I had no way to name them without rebuilding them, which sucks. They're the solar panel hinges. That's why there's 4 of them. They only have 2 blocks, and yeah, that sucks. So at some point, if somebody deletes those, basically it's this grid right here, and there's no way for... It's basically this grid. It's the rotor head and hinge base. And I can't, like... I want to put a control panel on the rotor hinge. The rotor hinge should have a control panel, actually, is what it should do. Because and frankly, so should the rotor base and the hinge base. Both should have control panels. You can add one to the rotor base, and I have done that here. You can't add one to the hinge base. Very frustrating. So there was no way for me to... What I should have done... Remember this, folks. Do not put your hinges directly on your rotor head if you want to name the grid. Put a armor block in between, and then you can put a control panel on the armor block, and now you can name the grid. That's what I should have done. Frankly, I should have done that for the piston as well. I should have had on the piston head a armor block and then the rotor as well. And that way you can have the control panels on the armor blocks and name the grid. So we will at some point clean that up, but this is a lot to tear down, and I really don't want to... I mean, maybe I could create a welding ship that also has a grabber, and then I could use merge blocks somehow. If we had the welding pad, then it would be easy. It would be way easier. So anyways, what I want to do now is mine some uranium. So yes, you're going to see the GPS coordinates. We're going to change this uranium to, I don't know, pink, I guess, so that we can... Oh, and then also, we're going to change the uranium to be always visible. And there it is there. It is not too far. It is 18 kilometers away, but there's also a lot of iron, gold, iron, and there's also a lot of cobalt. Oh, no energy. What I'm thinking of doing once I... okay, I'm gonna go to the cockpit because I cannot find... Okay, good. What I'm thinking is it's 18 kilometers away, so I'm gonna move the entire mother base there. I have not done this before. I have moved it a little bit, but not a lot. So, the question becomes... And then I've got some energy. I'm going to use the survival kit. Question becomes, is it safe to move the mother base with the solar panels extended? That is the question. And I'm thinking the answer is no. So, here's what we're going to do. Because the mining cockpit is basically facing a direction I can pilot with, we're going to use that one. We're going to set up a third control panel. And this is going to be for the control of our solar panels. And what we're going to do is this. we're going to go into K and we're going to find those turrets. And here they are, turrets solar. So we have them. So the first thing we're going to do is in here, groups, turrets solar. We're going to put this one in and we're going to do on off. This will allow us to turn off the auto alignment of solar panels to the sun. It does mean we'll lose some energy while we're traveling, but it's safer because the next thing we're going to do is we're going to look for our solar pistons, which are these guys. And okay, pistons, what are they set to? They are set to 1, 1, 1. So they're all set to 1 meter per second, which is fine. I've tested that, that's fine. So what we're going to do as well is we're going to do piston solar reverse. Actually, piston solar, we'll put reverse here, and we'll change this one to be an on-off. They're on right now. They shouldn't be on right now, but okay. So first, we're going to turn these off. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to retract our pistons. And if we've done this correctly, none of them should hit. Right? Please, none of them hit. Oh, look at that. So they all stop safely. Yeah. Okay. So we've now retracted our pistons. We've turned off our turrets. We can turn off the pistons just so they stay that way. We've got our landing leg locked. We are merged with our base station. The only thing we have to do is convert this entire thing to a ship. And now we're a ship. Now, interestingly enough, we are at 4,548 PCU. And if I look at my info, the only other grid I have that is not part of this behemoth is the survival kit at 155 PCU. So that means, call it 4,700. We're at 4,700 PCU, so that's not bad. All right. Let's get this show on the road. Now, go into navigation. Okay, so first off, I am going to switch cockpits, because really, this is normally our navigation cockpit. And we are going to switch to our systems on off. We are going to turn all of these systems on, except for the batteries. We're going to keep the batteries on auto. That's what they should have been on. All right. And then, this is going to be slow. We are also going to go into our gyro. And we are going to bump up power to 100%. Because this ship is big. So now the last thing I'm going to do is we're going to switch into our mining cockpit. We're going to use that one to drive so that our just so that our engines are oriented properly. And then I'm going to switch into my mining camera and we're going to aim all the way over. And in fact, I think I'm just going to do V, and we're going to slowly aim towards the uranium. Oh, so slow. All right. All right, so we're aimed pretty close to the uranium. Let's see. Oh yeah, we're almost dead on. The one thing I don't like about cameras in this game is you can't pan them. There is an add-on to do that. So at this point, I'm going to turn on my gyro override and we are going to start accelerating. Now, the one thing we are going to do is we are going to eventually at some point turn our dampeners off because we don't want to lose any of this acceleration. And in fact, I can just use my thrust override and just now I'm not even pressing any buttons. We're doing 345 kilonewtons per second, I want to say, and we're slowly accelerating. Also note, the addition of the second large cargo did give me enough space for the ion engines to fully flame on without damaging any blocks. I think the ion damage ends at 2 blocks, but I'm not entirely sure. I think it's 2 blocks. And here we go. This will make mining out that uranium just a little bit easier because the round trip between my mining ship and the base station will be that much shorter. And if you're watching the video, this is where I'm probably gonna do a time lapse because this takes forever. Or it feels like it takes forever. Also, I am going to, at this point, shut off our engines because we're now going 50 and slowing down is going to be difficult. In fact, I'm going to slow down just a little bit so that I'm dead on 50. Oh, look at that. Dead on 50. Oh. Oh, well, it went away. All right, we're doing 50 meters a second. What's 15 kilometers at 50 meters a second? 300 seconds. So this should take 5 minutes. Yeah. We're definitely going to do a time lapse here. Because asking you to watch me in a cockpit for 5 minutes seems a little silly. So as you can see, this area also has a lot of iron, gold, some ice, which is going to be important, but most importantly, the uranium. The uranium is key because that's going to get me to reactors, and that's going to be uber nice. So nice having reactors. Although I will need to get the platinum, I guess, so... Are we moving away from the platinum? Not really, but it is pretty far away. We'll probably do a single trip to get that platinum. Alright. 10K and counting down. We have 12 hours of battery, and our solar panels are still generating power. Not a lot, but, well, I don't know. Maybe a lot. Yeah, 3 out of 4. That ain't bad. They're not 100%, but they're not 50. Alright. Oh, shit. Oh, it scared me. It just popped in out of nowhere, eh? Alright, so this brings up another scary thing. And maybe we should start slowing down. Because... you really don't want to run into stuff. Like, if I ran into something at 50 meters a second, that's bad news. Also, we are going to aim past the uranium. And the way to do that is to point below it, get out of our camera, go into third person, and turn on our dampeners until we see the side ones stop. Okay, so there we go. Turn on the dampeners again, and there we go. So now we should be aiming. And the thing with gyros is just because you're aiming at something, that doesn't mean you're going that direction. And in fact, I think I want to go over... Well, I don't know. That's a good question. I think I want to go over this direction, actually. Alright, we're going that direction now. We're going to slow down to 20 meters a second. Now, the other thing I want to do is I want to position the base, mother base station, so that it's not in the shadow of this asteroid. And the sun is over there. So I think I'm going to allow this to get down to... Well, I'm not really sure. Say 1 kilometer, maybe? We'll reevaluate how close we are to the asteroid, because I don't want my solar... I don't want to hit the asteroid at all, frankly. Like, not at all. And I think we're definitely... not going to hit, so that's good. Okay, we're gonna turn our dampeners all the way off now. Yeah, this is fine. Now we're going to just completely come to a stop. We've probably all overshot. Yeah, we haven't overshot yet. The uranium is still getting closer instead of farther away. But we are going to completely come to a dead stop. And can we convert to a ship? No, because we haven't come to a dead stop. Huh. Oh, because the dampeners are off. Silly boy. The dampeners are off. So now we are going to convert this back to a station, and now the server loves us because we're now a station again, which is really nice. So now I am going to go back into my solar panel control. We're going to turn on the pistons. we're going to extend them. Having your solar panels extended on pistons really is quite nice. It's very cool. And then we're going to turn on our turret controls. And look at that. Oh, that is just so cool. Now, one of the other things I will mention, these turret control panels, the way you set them up is you have an azimuth rotor, which is basically your left-right. It needs to be a rotor. It can be a hinge, but it really needs to be a rotor. Then you have an elevation rotor. The elevation rotor, they should have said elevation hinge, because most of the time it's going to be a hinge. Then you have a camera. This is how it figures out what grid to point where. Place your camera on the grid attached to the hinge. Most important thing is your velocity multipliers. These by default are set to 9. I like to set them to 1. 1 just seems a lot safer. Then as far as solar panels go, all you have to do is say, always aim at sun, and you're done. The rest of the controls, no matter. So I'm just going through these and checking that I'm set to 1, because I'm pretty sure, yeah, they all are. Yeah, they're all set. So now we're back up to full power, which is great. All right, let's get in our navigational. And let's check to make sure everything is on. It is. One thing I need to do is I need to unmerge. So we have now unmerged by turning our merge blocks only on the one side off. I can now go into my info and I will rename this grid. I really wish it would keep the name, but it doesn't. And we are Bad Hut Productions, and this is the Miner 49er, and its abbreviation is M49. So we've renamed our grid back to what it's supposed to be, and then we're going to convert this part to a ship. So now we've got the station is a station, and the ship is a ship. All right? The other thing before I unlock is I will check. For some reason, I've got a steel plate. I wonder where that came from. Interesting. Are there anything red here? No, eh? Nothing red? Oh, I know where it came from. It came from the lights. All blocks. Oh no. It came from the light armor block that we destroyed or grinded. So that's where that came from. All right. So what I was going to do is I was going to switch to show only inventories of the current ship and hide empty. And I wanted to make sure that, okay, I've got a little bit of ice just in case. And yeah, so we're basically empty. So we are going to unlock. And I should be able to... Yeah, look at that. Lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. All right. So, let's be careful about this. And... where is this uranium? I did find it. The one thing I have not done, and I probably should do, is I need to put lights on the, quote, back of this miner, or the front of the miner. Uranium and silicon, eh? Alright. Yeah, you know what? We actually are going to switch sides here. Let's switch sides. Let's do a 180. And let's find this uranium. because now we've got light. And there it is right there. That's a big, nice big chunk of uranium. Look at that, eh? There's also some silicon here, which I'm not too concerned about, but it's the uranium we want. All right. Why? Oh, right, of course. So these three controls are now invalid because we're not connected to the base station. So that's why that is. Probably what I should do is make a cockpit on the base station and put these three controls in that cockpit. But let's switch to our mining. And let's switch to our mining camera. And probably our gyro is too strong. So let's change our gyro back to 25%. I wish there was a way to do that. And let's go in here. Look at this nice big patch of uranium. I'm hoping this is going to be big. So what I like to do is break it up into 4. We're going to go right up close. And then I am going to turn my gyro override on. And then we're going to test our timer. And we're going to start mining. Now I'm going to go V here, actually F, get out of the camera, back into V. And what we're going to do is we're going to press 5. This should turn on the drills, the rotor. It unlocks the landing gear, turns on the drills, and then the rotor, and then advances the piston. Extends the piston. Now, we are going to leave, and hopefully, I'm hoping I got this edge correctly, and I don't have to, it doesn't look like I did, but I guess we'll see. We'll see. Anyways, we're now, the other thing we're gonna do, while we are at it, is we're gonna turn our ejectors on, and it should start ejecting stone, assuming we're getting any stone. We do have some stone. Yeah, and it is definitely being ejected. Yeah, there it is. Here comes the stone. Little poopies. It's pooping stone. Yeah, because we don't want the stone at this point. And it looks like I nailed the edge pretty good. We're gonna get all of this uranium. So that's the extension. Now, one of the things I really do want to do is put another piston on so that I can extend longer, because as you can see right now, it's fully extended and we're not even close to the bottom of this uranium. So now we just have to kind of push in, which is dangerous because when I push in too far, you will see some herky-jerkiness with our drills. So you want to avoid that. We're getting all this uranium. We're going to prevent all the other players from getting this uranium. This uranium is ours. What we're going to do is, this is quadrant 1. We're going to do a quadrant 2 here, quadrant 3 here, and a quadrant 4 here, and then we will mine out the rest of it. Thankfully, it was a surface deposit, so it was really easy to find. Yeah, unfortunately, we kind of missed some of it.
Inventory full.
The nice thing about doing this is you can just dump it. Oh. Dump. Yeah. Yeah, so Inventory full. Just stony. Oh, that's not a rock. That's a planet. Dump. Oh. Another guy down there. Dump.
Inventory full.
Any uranium? Oh, a little bit. Hmm? Hmm. Gotta be really careful with drills. They will kill you. Yeah, okay. I'm satisfied. Alright, let's push in some more here. There we go. Oh. Oop. Oh. Oop. Interesting that it's pooping out little tiny stones and not big stones. That's a good sign because that means we're getting mostly uranium. And let me see, stone. Yeah. Yeah, we're up to, wow, 106,000 uranium. I have no idea how many bars how many ingots, I should say, that's going to be. But we're just going to keep pushing in here. Until we can't push in anymore. We have hit stone. Well, that's good and bad, in a way. Okay, let's go to our mining camera. Push in a little more. Connection problem always worries me when I'm mining. Hide empty here. We're still getting uranium in one of the drills. But I think we've basically hit bottom. Yeah, we have. All right. So our next experiment, this is going to be really dangerous, is what happens when we press 6. Oh. I'm sorry, not 6. Not that 6. piston. Make sure, let's make sure, yeah, current position 10. Not that 6. That 6 is piston reverse. It just extends the piston, no big deal. What I want to do is that 6. Yeah, look at that. Look at how fast that piston extends. It should lock as well. Bang. And then bang. We're going to back into all of this stone. Retracting ourselves out. And now we're going to switch to camera 4. Look at that big, nasty, ugly hole we made. So now what I like to do is I'm going to unlock, turn the rotor on, and then I'm going to go into rotor here. And we're going to watch the angle, and specifically we're going to reverse. I'm just resetting back to 0, just so that I can see in the unfortunately, the camera doesn't rotate. Oh, that's genius. I could put the camera on a rotor which counter rotates. Oh, that's just genius, that is. So we are going to turn off the rotor right now. And reverse, and then on, off, and reverse, and then on, off. Good enough. Okay, then we're going to, just because we can, we're going to lock it into play. And now if I go left, I'm moving left. All right, so we are going to go up a bit here to this area. Actually, no, we're not. Actually, yes, we are. I'm gonna go up a bit. Actually, I'm gonna do this. Because I want to go in like that, maybe? Yeah, that's what I want. Our gyro inhibitor, or our gyro override, is on. So at this point, I'm just going to hit 5 again. And everything should just start up again. Look at that. That is genius. Those timers are genius. So the way these timers work, I've got 2 of them. I've got a retract, reset, and extend. So we just hit the extend. So let's go over the extend. Piston extend. It has no delay. I've made it silent. And its setup actions are relatively simple. There's only the one toolbar. Yeah. So basically all it does is it unlocks the landing gear, turns the drills on. Always turn your drills on first, before you turn the rotors on. I then turn my piston on. Yes, I like to turn pistons on and off. I just do. And then I extend the piston. Now this assumes the piston is set to 0.1 meters per second and the rotors are set to 1 revolution per minute, I think. I think that's right. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm getting confused. Let me see. Really? Rotor. Advanced rotor drill. Yeah, 1 revolution per minute. Okay. So that's what you want. You want 1 revolution per minute, 0.1 meters per second. Works flawlessly. So then, for the reverse, I wanted the piston to go faster. How do we do that? Well, first, you're going to hit a retract timer. Now again, the extend timer should be silent. And actually the reset timer should be silent too. The retract, again, I've got it basically no delay. It's silent. And here's the setup actions. Again, we've got a couple of toolbars, and I will discuss it. So the first toolbar, what does it do? It turns the rotor off, turns the drills off, it turns the piston off. Turns the piston off because the next thing we're going to do is we're going to decrease its velocity. Now remember, retracting is negative. We're at 0.1. A single decrease is 0.5. So now we're going to be at negative 0.4. You cannot do the same action multiple times on a single toolbar. So then we go to our second toolbar. What does it do? It does another decrease. So now we're at negative 0.9. Again, it's not fast enough. So then we do a third toolbar. First thing it does, another decrease. So now we're at negative 1.4 meters per second. At which point, I'm going to turn on the piston. And I'm going to tell it to retract. Now, we are at a negative speed, so it would retract automatically. So this command is kind of redundant. But I like to have it in anyways, just to be explicit and obvious about what's going on here. And then we're going to start, not trigger. Turns out triggering, you can't trigger timers from a toolbar. You have to start them. So then I'm going to start another timer, which is our reset timer. So what does the reset timer do? Well, remember, we're at minus 1.4 meters per second. We don't want to advance at 1.4 meters per second, which is what would happen if we did a piston reverse. So the reset is going to reset the piston back to 0.1 meters per second. It's silent. I have a delay set to 10 seconds. That's more than enough because we're retracting at 1.4 meters per second, which means we'll be fully retracted in just over 7 seconds, 7.14 seconds. So we're going to wait an extra 3 seconds, and then we're going to do our setup actions. Again, we have 3 toolbars. The first one is we should be fully retracted, so we're going to turn the piston drill off. The piston off, I should say. Then we're going to increase our velocity by 0.5 meters per second, which means we should be now at negative 0.9. We're going to do that again. We're now at negative 0.4. We're going to do it a third time. We're now at 0.1. If we had not turned off the piston, we would now be advancing, which is not what we want. That's why we turned it off. Always turn off your pistons, your rotors, and your hinges when you're playing with velocities or revolutions per minute or limits, any of that stuff. Always have them off. Then we are going to lock our landing gear. Now, one of the things I have not done at this point, and there's no easy way to do it, is made sure the rotor is at around 0 or 360 degrees rotation. There's just no easy way to do it. So that's why in our cockpit, we've got these 7, 8, 9 manual settings. Now I'm going to advance because we, during all that discussion, have probably fully maxed out our piston length, and we still have more uranium to mine. Those little spiky bits are what you have to guard against because they will damage your drills if you run into them. So we definitely don't want those little spiky bits. We have drilled out another good section, although, yeah, we've still got a way to go here. Look at all this uranium. Wow. So I wonder how full our inventory is. I'm sure it's nowhere near full. Let's just do ore. If you just do ore, you'll see all the ore. Our drills are quite happy. If I had more drills, I would hide them from the inventory, but given that we're limited by 5, I like to show them. Yeah, we're nowhere near full. We got 180,000 uranium. It actually might be nice to just store the stone. Like, I don't know. I mean, we could. Certainly no lack of inventory space. And also, you notice our drill circumference is not covering a full area of uranium, but that's okay. The other thing I could do, and we just might, is we can hit 6, it will retract. Lock. And then we can push in a little bit further. Although I know my batteries are going to prevent me from going in any further. Alright, so now we're going to hit 5 again. And it should start up. And hopefully we didn't screw up the dimensions at all. And it will go in further. Yeah, there we go. Chomp, chomp, chomp. Yeah, see these in-between sections? You see them pop up with large grid rotor or large grid drills. This setup does work. The other thing we could do is we could, instead of having an X, we could have a line. It does mean that I mean, right now, because it's an X, a full rotation's only 90 degrees effectively. Whereas with a line, a full rotation would be 180 degrees. But, you know, it might be a good idea to reconfigure since this requires multiple passes because our drill area is so small. So I might just do that, but I'll leave it as it is right now. Yeah, you can see that the hills grow and then they shrink as the outer drills take them down. Oh, there's one there. Let's see what happens here. Oh, see, one of the drills took it down, so that's good. And we're now down to stone. So absolutely at this point, we can tell it retract, and we will pull out and alright, stone, get out of the way. It's a good thing that these stones the little mini stone asteroids that we're creating do not cause damage, because we're definitely ramming them. Alright, so then again, I'm gonna eyeball it this time. We're gonna go 7, and we know that we're waiting for the control panel of the drill to be the right way around with the black bit up top. So I know that this leg that's just coming around from the right to the left, that's the one we want to stop on. And we can eyeball it. So 7. Yeah, that's good. We're gonna lock it. All right. And now we can do 4, which is our camera. And we are going to go here. Only we're gonna go down a bit. Gonna hit this. Don't hit it. We are definitely going to hit it. In fact, let me just see how hard we're going to hit it. Oh, I think, yeah, we just hit it. So, this is where, if I do Control 2, I can use my manual drilling to help us hit yeah, that's nice. All right, so now we're gonna hit And gyros are on, so that's good. We're gonna hit 5. Oh, I'm sorry. We're gonna hit 5. And it should turn everything on, unlock everything, and start the drilling process. Now I'm wondering if that drill is gonna hit. Is this guy going to hit? And the answer is no, but just to be on the safe side, I'm gonna drill out this area here, just so that we're on the safe side. Oh, there's another one. And another one.
Inventory full.
Boop. Yeah, there we go. Ah, it's genius, that is. Gotta love it. It'll be interesting to see how extensive this deposit is and how much more how much ore we can get out of it. Were there any others? Oh yeah, there's 2 more. Any others? No? Okay. Soka! Naruhodo. Yeah! All the poops. It's pooping out the poops. Tell me it's gonna collect this. What do we got for uranium? We got a lot of stone and a lot of uranium. $243,000 uranium. I am not sure how many ingots that will be, but one of the things we will do before we process that is we need to produce some efficiency modules. I don't want to use my refiner without efficiency modules when dealing with uranium. Alright, let's try this again here. 6. And 5. Well, come on. Oh, okay. I guess it was just taking some time. Strong unknown signal. 3. What's a what's 1,000 kilometers? What's that? Is that a mega kilometer? I think it is. Or a kilo? No, a kilometer is kilo. So yeah, that's 3 mega kilometers. That's a distance unit of measure that nobody uses. Mega kilometers. All right, we'll let it get down a little bit more, get some more of this stone just for good measure, and then we're gonna reset and do another, probably this big one right here. We're good. We're good. All right. 5. Oh no, 6. Push all this stone out of the way. And then we'll hit here, and then again we're going to unlock and start rotating. Just 90 degrees this time. I wish there was a way to automate that process. Oh. Lock. And 4. And now. We're gonna be extra cautious. And we're... Oop. Yeah, that's a good chunk. Alright, and 5. That's a good chunk. Yep. Ah, yes, that's right. Where is my base? So we're gonna go up here to our base because we didn't GPS this, so GPS mother base station. Okay. We're gonna delete that one. And this guy always, right. This is where if I was smart, what I would do is I should build a small exploration ship. Maybe that's what we'll do next. Something that can just go out and map mineral locations. There we go. Now where did that other one go? I don't know. Oh, there it is. Yay. We left this big tip here. We'll get it. We'll get it. We're not gonna leave that.
Inventory full.
Boop. Any more? Oh, there's one there. All right. How are we doing here? Full extended? Yes, we are. That's actually kind of nice. I can actually accelerate towards my retracting piston and basically meet it. So that's actually really handy. I really kind of like that. That's neat. This would be easier if we made our drills in a line. Now, the other way you can do it is instead of rotating that line in the middle, you could rotate it from one of its ends. And then you get an even wider circumference. That is, I think, your limit of circumference as far as drilling goes. You might be able to get away with 2 blocks if you're using the right mouse button. So that would be a drill head used for clearing more than mining. But definitely you could do a rotating drill head that rotates from its end. The only thing I wonder is, would you have to counterbalance it? You'll notice one of the things I don't have on my drill is a gyroscope. I don't have one on the drill head. It seems to be working fine without one, but that is definitely something you can do, is you absolutely can put gyros on your drill head. It will stabilize the drill head far better than not having one. But again, oh, look at this spindly stuff. Yuck, I hate that. Again, it seems to be optional. Now, if I reconfigure this to be a line that spins in the middle, I still might not need a gyro. If I reconfigure it to be a line that rotates from an end point, I think a gyro or maybe 2 would be useful, let's just say, and maybe necessary. All right, let's pull out. And we will retract, and then we will do another. I love how the stone just flows away. We will do another reset of our drill head here. One of the things I think the rotor, and let's, we could check actually. I don't think the rotor commands have any way of setting the limit to a specific number. If we had that, we would be able to automate the process of resetting to a specific position. So that would be nice to have. Keen, are you listening? I don't think they are, because I know for a fact they don't watch me. Or if they do, I am unaware of it. Connection problem. That's why we didn't move. We had a connection problem again, guys. Really? And there we go. All right, we're going to move over here a bit. I want to get this monstrosity. More connection problems. I'm calling it. Really? No? Okay. Maybe I've hit something. Nope, it's definitely a connection problem. And I bet we've just timed out. Maybe? Yeah, we've timed out something fierce. Although, no, the game is still moving. So, why is my V not working? Oh, of course, I'm in camera view. That's why V isn't working. Silly boy. Alright. So, that's another thing they should do. They should change that. Alright, so I'm going to go here. We're going to hit 5. Come on. There we go. Yeah, there is a 1 second delay on the timers, which is rather annoying. The other thing that's rather annoying is when you're in a camera, it's F to leave the camera, but it's also F to leave your cockpit. That's annoying. It should be V to leave the camera. The other thing I don't like is when I'm in a camera, if I press V, I should either leave the camera or go directly to third person mode. I don't know. But it's very annoying. Yeah, that's what I thought. Is this going to be deep enough? Like, to the bottom enough to get all of this stuff? I don't know. But it's definitely getting all of this stuff. I still have all of this stuff to get, which is rather annoying. There might even be deeper uranium underneath this. It's hard to know. I mean, there's definitely uranium here, because it says so. Right? Oh! No! Another uranium deposit right here? Wow, is it buried? It is, isn't it? No. Or, yeah, maybe. Uh-huh. Okay. We will take that into consideration. How do we want to get to it? I would prefer to get to it from the sun side. Is that possible? Interesting. Ow. Where's my miner? Another uranium deposit. It's insane. I mean, it's buried, so 30, 20. Okay, so this is the closest we're gonna get. All right, let's mark this. We're definitely gonna get this uranium as well. I'll probably get this one off camera. But we're definitely marking it. Wow, another uranium. So this one's got uranium, eh? Silicon buried. I explored this one before, eh? Silicon, another uranium. Is this the one I'm mining right now? Or is that the one I just got? That's the one I'm mining. Yeah, that's the one I'm mining. All right. 6. Four. 5. Yeah, you know what? Here's the thing, right? This camera is on a block, right? If I instead, like if I change out one of these lights for a rotor, interesting. Yeah, okay, I could do that. So I could change out one of the lights for rotor, and then I could put a rotor small head, right? And use a small grid camera and small grid lights to basically replace the functionality of the searchlight. And then I could have the rotor counter rotate with the drill. And that would leave at the same rate, but in the opposite direction. And then when I went to that camera, I would effectively have a viewpoint that would stay the same. So yeah, that's cool. That's wicked cool that you can do that kind of stuff in engineers. These are the kind of engineering things. This is why we call it space engineers. we'll set that up next episode. Absolutely, that'll be a next episode thing. All right. Well, here's what we're gonna do. I am gonna finish mining this uranium, and you are gonna watch the next episode. So this has been Malacosa playing Space Engineers, mining some uranium. Yeah, we've got uranium. Full power to the warp drive. That's what it will be. All right. So this has been episode 7 of Catch Me If You Can. Nobody's caught me. So have a good day. Have fun gaming. Be nice to your friends and family. Say I love you to those people you love. And this is Malacosa, signing off.